VUNWE program, which is funded by the Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands and in Maputo. We are especially grateful for the fact that the lead partner in the consortium is IHE, being an institution that is fully rounded in terms of all issues of water management. All the research and all the cutting-edge international interventions in the space of water resources management are coming from one angle to the other from IHE. We have researchers on transboundary issues, on diplomacy issues, on the core business or the science of water management, on the data and the hydrology and hydroinformatics. So we have quite a pool of expertise that we can draw on to assist us. You find that in transboundary commission, institutions or member states collaborate more on just sharing information, sometimes also building just the relationship and trust, but they do not have much of the technical programs that they have to run together, or they do not have much of the science that needs to inform their work. So in our case, we are very hopeful that this collaboration through the VUNWE program will help us to strengthen INMACOM as an institution. They will also help us with the data and information management systems. They will also help us in defining the joint programs that we want to achieve, and also in terms of disaster management, which is a core thing, and climate adaptation. And we trust the research is somewhere here, and working with this partnership and our own technical experts within our countries, we are likely to move from just talking about things to real programs that have impact on the ground. The diplomatic elements of water management. Yes, there's the science, there's the data and the information, but then there's the people aspect of things. In managing shared water resources, you're not just dealing with the data and the river and its behavior. You're also dealing with the communities. You're also dealing with the different cultures. You're also dealing with the different priorities and needs and things like that. So I feel like the aspect of diplomacy moves beyond just the measurements and the calculation. It moves towards building the relationships, building the trust, having empathy for one another, and having that neighborliness aspect, vitalizing all those relationships and also strengthening the collaboration. So yes, I would emphasize that while we do the water management in transboundary commissions, we should also focus on having that personal touch, which is why, as the Executive Secretary of INMACOM, I wish for us to show the relevance of the existence of such an institution in solving the pain points of the different member states that we are serving, not just to say we have all the data now in one place, but we should show how relevant, what change have we brought by working together in solving the real key challenges of the people on the ground in the different countries. Water is the driver of everything. Water is just basic for your basic survival, but it is also the core driver of your development, your economy, your tourism, there's a lot of things that are dependent on water. And we see that even the regional economic forums are leveraging on water, on the infrastructure, on the trade and things like that. So we manage a very critical resource as INMACOM, and that is already being put at the very core of the regional economic development. In our case, we even have the river flowing along the main hubs of development. You find the roads are following the river all the way to Mozambique, and we have the Maputo Development Corridor along the Incomati basin that we serve, and we also have that hub that goes to St. Lucia on the other side of our basin, which is the Maputo Basin. So the water is really the pathway that all the development is following. Everything is centered around the water. The cities are centered around the water. So we need to collaborate on that, especially in our case, because we have also the estuaries and the hubs of trade, which are the harbors in Maputo, and also on the South African side, the St. Lucia and Maputo Bay. So we are emphasizing the integration of water in economic development beyond just the agriculture, but also to the broader economic elements that we are dealing with in the region. Women have been left behind for quite a while in discussions and making decisions on water management. It's just a pity because we all know that women also play a key role in the safeguarding and the management of water resources, and IWRM principles have already identified that. So being a woman in the water sector and having such a voice that can reach such vast areas where I can never be physically there myself, it's such a privilege because I understand the needs and the pain of women to be involved in the decisions, to be involved in having a slice in the pie, because a lot of people are developing through water, and if they are not there, then their needs or their opportunities are not catered for. So by being there as a woman and having your voice in those things, you are able to speak, because when a woman is involved in water management or in economic development activity, they are not just serving themselves, they are serving families, they are doing some extended support. And nowadays, in the period of climate change, the women being empowered in these issues of water management can also play a huge role in adaptation to these vast elements and circumstances that are taking place due to climate change. So it's such an honor to fill that space and to be that one woman that is speaking on behalf of all the other women of Africa that have not had the chance before.